Hi guys, you're listening to the £3.30 podcast. I'm your host Asha.
She's not our host, and I am Reem.
And I'm Sana.
Oh. Hi, Walalos.
Can I just say for everyone that's listening, so that everyone understands what's going on here. Currently, in this moment, we're all basically recording from 3 different countries, fam. Yeah. So I am currently in Bristol.
I'm dead.
Reem's obviously back at home in London, and Sana's in Doha. So we're finding a way. There's a way to record this podcast. Sana Muskin is like on shift. It's like 12 p.m. where she's at, or a.m. should we say? It's all mad. Reem was about to step out to go gym.
How are you enjoying Sheffield?
But she forgot about the podcast.
She's in Bristol actually.
Yeah. How's Bristol?
Bro, I said 2 seconds ago that I was in Bristol. That's how you know she doesn't listen.
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Alhamdulillah, it's nice to spend time with family, as per usual.
So, can you tell us about, what happened last week?
What happened last week? Oh yeah,
What happened last week?
I quit my job.
Yay!
Yay!
How are you feeling?
No,
are you
wallah,
feeling?
Freedom is actually so beautiful. Okay, so I'm not gonna obviously talk bad about the place that I used to work at, but I'm just gonna say sometimes it's always good to always have a bit of freedom and just sort of move on from situations that maybe you're not necessarily happy in, or it's not by force, man. Just to be in a situation just because of financial stability, and that's what I was doing for, I want to say, a long time. I just wasn't really enjoying my job. I wasn't enjoying the environment that I was in. I wasn't enjoying a lot of things, and now it's just I'm starting a new job inshallah next week, so I'm really, really, really looking forward to. It's more of what I want to do, and it's just it's just liberating. It's mad because I think on the week of my last week, and even my last day, it didn't really feel real until I want to say this week. This week is the week that I was yeah. I ain't got to see nobody no more. I ain't got to do with nothing no more. It's so liberating. It's so nice, and just
You struggled a lot
hopeful,
with them,
man.
that's the thing, innit? You struggled a lot with them.
Yeah, a lot, man, a lot. Do you know what I think it is? Yeah, and this is there's a lot to be said about diversity, and I just feel I think in this job more than any other that I've realised actually it's so important to have a bit more diversity. And that's not just diversity in terms of race, that means diversity in gender, in different types of people, in everything, able-bodied, disabled, whoever you are, you have to have diversity in the workforce. And it just enriches where you work. It just makes it much more colourful and more it just becomes a learning experience for everyone, and everyone's a lot more enlightened to certain things. And sometimes when you're the only black person working in a particular environment, you kind of carry that weight and sort of represent the entire race, and it can be draining, and it can be daunting, and it's hard. You feel like you're constantly fighting a battle on your own.
Yeah.
And even though of course
Tiring.
they are allies and people, and it's not a constant thing every single day, but these little digs, especially when it's just you on your own, it does it does get to you, and it does affect your mental health. And it's just nice to be away from that now, and just move on, do what you like, live life, innit? If you man,
I can hear you smiling as you speak.
Bro, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Gas is it's such an understatement. I'm so gassed. I'm so happy, but I'm looking forward to this new position. Even though it's not as bad as where I was before, there are still there is still room for improvement in terms of
course.
and that's just something that I'm gonna have to expect. Unless I'm working at some sort of startup somewhere in Shoreditch or something, the ones where it's just you're gonna have to expect that everyone's gonna be the same and have very similar upbringing. But yeah, exciting times, alhamdulillah, man. I'm ready to move on, man.
Alhamdulillah.
But yeah, what are you guys doing? What are you guys up to?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear any of that.
What, not one bit?
No.
What are you guys up to?
Oh no, I want to hear Sana. How have you been? How's your week been, my little friend?
My little friend. My week's been good, man. I feel like I say the same thing every week, but I'm just out here enjoying the weather. That's literally it.
Can you share a little bit more about the UNESCO stuff that you did, please? Just to give people a bit of insight.
Yeah, so last week
Oucheaa.
I was invited. I was invited as a participant to be to take part in this like UNESCO forum that brought together Yemeni artists and creatives from around the world. So they had people from like Yemenis from Europe who had just left the country like since the war had started, and they had Yemenis that have been out of the country for a long time anyway. So people like me in the diaspora that have been out for a while. And they basically brought us all together to just discuss ways in which international organisations like UNESCO, who have been given like this huge budget to inject it back into the Yemeni art scene, basically, and or cultural scene, heritage scene, and they wanted to know exactly what we wanted them to do for us in terms of Yemenis in the diaspora and Yemenis in the country as well. So it was good because we were able to like this. First of all, it was amazing because we could all meet each other for the very first time, because we've all been following each other on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was good to get us all together into one room to finally meet face to face, because obviously, I mean, not me, but everyone else had like Yemeni passports, so it's very hard for Yemenis to come together in one place because nowhere accepts us. And obviously, I'm speaking from a place of privilege because I have the British passport, so it doesn't really count. But I'm saying generally, Yemenis aren't very welcomed anywhere else in the world. So the only two countries that accept Yemeni passports at the moment are Malaysia and Egypt. So you can go in quite easily into those countries, but anywhere else it's a very, very long.
Why?
Not even Iraq. That's a bit process. Cheeky.
Yeah, man. It's actually it's probably one of the worst, if not the worst, passports in the world because when you're from a country which is broken apart by war and everyone is trying to get out, then of course all other countries are gonna block the borders to you because they know as soon as you come in you're gonna stay. So yeah, that's not nice. But anyway, so it was nice to get us all together into one room to discuss all these things. And yeah, so it was just a way to tell them what exactly we need, what tools we need, how we can how they can help us to kind of promote our work and to excel in our fields, in our respective fields. And we had like a whole range of people there. So we had YouTubers, we had filmmakers, artists, poets, even writers. So yeah, it was a nice thing to be a part of. I was very, very proud and honoured to see so many talented Yemenis in your room.
Mashallah. I was gassed looking at you guys hang out. I was like, oh, gang.
No, I was jealous.
Can I just say, as the thing you said about the worst passport, I've just googled the worst passports.
Yeah.
Somalia.
The worst is Afghanistan. Then it's Iraq.
Yeah.
Then it's Syria.
Yeah.
Then it's Pakistan.
Okay.
Then it's Somalia. Then it's Yemen. Then the Palestinian territories, Sudan, Iran. Literally until North Korea is all Muslim countries. That's mental. That's actually mad.
I haven't said Yemen yet.
No, Yemen was in there.
Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? With places like Syria and Somalia and Iraq, if you as an Iraqi or Somali or Syrian apply for refugee status somewhere in a European country, for example, you are more likely to be accepted than you are if you do it as a Yemeni. So that's why when the refugee crisis happened a few years ago, well, it's ongoing. People have forgotten about it, but when it first triggered, many Yemenis were pretending to be Somalis and Syrians.
Yeah, that I worked with an Egyptian who I knew was fully Egyptian. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I'm Syrian. I was like, you don't need to lie to me, homeboy. I'm not the Home Office. You look Egyptian. You're speaking to me in an Egyptian dialect. You're Egyptian. You said Mo Salah is your inspiration. Bro, you're Egyptian. Like, it's okay. I'm not gonna tell anyone, but the Home Office have clocked as well. Like, you can't. Bless. That's sad though.
No, it definitely happens. I know a lot of Tanzanians who've come to the UK on like a Somali passport saying they're that they need like refuge and stuff like that. It's jokes, but you can tell like obviously the translators at the Home Office, they're just bare looking at them like, why you always lying? Oh my god. You can just tell. But you know, they just got to back it like, okay. He said that he's from Somalia. Tell him to speak Somali. Looking at him like,
I'm dead.
raw. Can't say a single word. It's mad.
It's all mad.
You know, there's this thing where like all ethnic or everyone that has come from like these kind of countries for some reason have chosen their birthday to be January 1st.
Yeah, always.
Do you guys all have that?
Because it's easy to remember.
We have the 1st of July.
1st of July.
Yeah, something about school,
Oh, that's the Iraqi one, yeah. All the Iraqis want to be Leos.
basically. I think they're actually I think it's actually Cancer, not Leo.
Whatever. Same but different.
Bruh, the way I can't hear you guys, man, this is all mad. Can I just say though, I'm on Twitter, and all day I've been seeing this stuff about Jacob Rees-Mogg, who's an absolute waste man, and we know this from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to talk about what the hell. Like, I genuinely don't know. Like, your parents.
For people that don't know.
So, okay. I don't know exactly what he said, but he basically, I mean, I don't know where he said it. Was it on LBC? He basically said that the survivors or the victims of the tragedy lacked common sense for following the advice of the fire brigade in when they said the kind of the stay put policy, basically.
Survivors, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I think it's not clear, but I promise I said that. Anyway, yeah, so he said that. Now, obviously, everyone is like, you're just dumb. Like, Stormzy's baited out everything. I think he shared the company that did the cladding for Grenfell and is like, these lot need to be held accountable. Called Jacob Rees-Mogg an absolute prick and worse things.
Called him a scumbag.
I just want to know, yeah, how your parents have spent so much money on private education, yeah, and how these people are in the public eye all the time. Like, at least, and this literally has me confused all the time. I think at least you must have people who advise you what to say and what not to say, so that if you're a politician, in order for you to get to be liked, yeah, like, just, I think that's common sense. As someone who's in the public eye, like, why would you be saying things like that? First of all, that's disgusting to say, period. Second of all, even if you believe that weird Tory nonsense, wouldn't you try to pretend?
Do you expect more from these politicians?
No, slyly, yes. I think if you're at least going to be, I at least think Tories, yeah, you want to win votes. Why would you say something like that? Like, why? I don't get it. It makes no sense for you politically.
I think they're just so disconnected from it. So they're just so disconnected to the point where they don't see that as a problematic thing to say.
But don't they have like advisors who are like, don't they have people who are like, don't say this, say this? Like, maybe don't mention.
Yeah, but advisors don't follow you around on every interview that you do.
Bruh.
So that must have been just like a on the spot kind of comment that he made, and just for.
Well, he's a scumbag.
He is a scumbag. He is a scumbag. Actually, the first time I saw that was I actually just saw that now, but basically, low-key had baited out the company that did the cladding as Arconic, and now he's asking people to do on Instagram is to go to their latest post and put the green hearts to symbolize.
Oh, was it low-key or Stormzy?
You guys need to do that right now. So, yeah, it was low-key, and then Stormzy retweeted that and then went
right.
on.
What's their Instagram page called? What and how do you spell it?
So it's ARCONIC. So go to the last post and just put the green hearts on.
Rob, spell it again, Sana.
ARCONIC.
Oh, Arconic. Oh, why didn't you say that for?
I did. So annoying.
Oh my god, how interesting. I'm just looking through it. They've done this thing for Black History Month. It's like, this is just so bizarre. This whole page is very strange. Anyway, yeah, so I just saw that and I was like, nah, I do genuinely get shocked. Even though I'm like, I don't expect better. I know that they're trash. My guy falls asleep mid-flipping Parliament sesh, yeah? But I get surprised. Like, it shocks me every single time. I'm not even gonna lie. It just shocks me every single time.
I think, do you know what it is? Yeah, I think what's happened now is that I think the route that politics has taken now is very different to how politics and politicians were back in the day. They were still trash. They're still very, very scummy, but it was all about democracy, and it was very much about pleasing the people and doing what's best for the people. But now it's like we haven't had a general election in a while. Do you know what I mean? So there's no need for them to do that. So it's just been about Brexit and delivering Brexit so far, where NHS has been neglected, and all the things that represent Britain and things that the working class like really, really sort of need in terms of like welfare and stuff like that, it's been neglected, and they know that they don't need to talk about that. This is why when you look at the House of Commons and you see how politicians are acting, they're literally like zoo animals. It's embarrassing. This is why like more artists are like trying to like basically commenting on like have you ever heard, like, apart from like a few, have you ever heard of like artists like really getting involved in politics like the way that they are now, unless it's been like it's a situation where it's definitely needed, and it's like the politicians need a wake-up call. Like you only ever hear like musicians ever speaking out, or like actors and stuff like that, or like people in the entertainment world having to speak out about politics because it's absolutely necessary, it's absolutely needed. But now it's like a common thing. They do it all the time. Like they're very much involved in like commenting about you now. You know exactly what art like who your favorite actors probably voting for. Do you know what I mean? Like Chrissy Teigen's on Twitter all the time cussing at Donald Trump. Like we know exactly what everyone sort of thinks and their political views. Whereas before we never really knew that, but it's because it's absolutely necessary now, and it's necessary to put pressure on the government to do the right thing. But where it hasn't been about democracy for a very, very, very long time, they don't care. This is why Jacob Rees-Mogg felt enough vim to go on LBC, a massive radio with a massive radio audience.
But LBC is London. Literally trash though.
But listen, but they're from London.
Exactly.
They're trash, but they're from London.
So he felt the confidence to do that.
No. They're trash, but they're from London, and Grenfell affected a lot of people from London. I can say a lot of people from London felt that, and like maybe not the maybe just the working class you could say, but you know the W1 postcodes probably they didn't give a shit, but. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. That did hurt a lot of people. Genuinely did feel that. If it was like some radio station in Hull where they don't really care, like they don't really know, maybe it wouldn't have caused some.
Why do we always send for Hull? They could be the nicest people there, with the most diverse crew.
And we're always like, the most random. Do you ever sit down and be like, oh yeah, I really want to go Hull? You don't do it. You never. It doesn't even cross your mind.
Bro, apparently Hull have Hull have won awards like for like I don't know, the best upcoming village or whatever it is. Bro, Hull is down with the kids.
No way.
Don't disrespect Hull, you know. How are you saying this?
I'm gonna find them.
In London, we're going Hull.
Alright, come on, this just.
We have to.
Yeah, I think politicians don't have to think about democracy at all anymore. That's why Theresa May got put into power because of whatever loopholes she managed to find. Then Boris Johnson got put into power because of whatever loophole he managed to find, and it's just, and they're all clinging on. Can you imagine that? How can a politician freeze Parliament for weeks on end just to block a democracy? They don't care. They actually don't care. So why are we so shocked by this?
I think I just expect more every single time, even though, and I also think like I genuinely just think that you don't want to alienate your kind of supporters or demographic or whoever you're trying to aim towards kind of having on your side. But then I guess that maybe that's more attractive for them, and this is why I'm left and that's why they're right. Like that just might be it might just be that simple, where it's like, well, yeah, we don't really care. But on that note, sorry everyone, if you haven't registered to vote, please vote.
Yes,
I literally, with my young person today, we registered him to vote, and I never said anything because I'm not trying to influence his decisions, but he goes, I'd vote Labour, and I was like, well, of course you would, because you're a smart guy.
Everyone needs to just vote Labour. There's no like wish-washing, no beat around the bush. You just need to vote Labour this time. Just get these bastards out.
Exactly. So register if you haven't.
Isn't it? It's like, you know, when you're deep it's actually kind of mad that, you know, people who voted Conservative or like the Green Party for all their lives are probably going to be voting for Labour on this election just because they need to get Boris Johnson.
I bloody hope they are.
Nah, I'm sure they will. As the thing, people were saying, vote for Labour. Like, regardless of what you do, you beg you just vote for Labour.
Yeah.
Just so we can make sure that Brexit
It's got to
doesn't
be
happen.
what's
just
it called?
so we can
Vote.
at least get a second referendum.
Yeah. Well, I don't know though, because I feel like Jeremy Corbyn's very. I'm not entirely sure where he sits with the whole Brexit thing, because there's been times where he could have had more say on it and he just hasn't. So I'm not.
He's refused to make it clear what he thinks.
Yeah.
I think he's refusing to make it clear what he thinks because he just wants to get the votes first, and then let people know, actually, I don't want Brexit. Bye. I think once he makes his stance very clear, it could swing the votes either. But I don't know why he's not making it clear. But it's pretty obvious he doesn't want it.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Either way, bruv, just vote Labour in it, because even their policies just suit the majority of people way more. It makes complete sense. I just don't understand why rich people want to be even richer. Like, you got millions. Why would you not want other people to have good things? Like, I don't get it. It's not like you're. I don't know. I genuinely find it confusing. I find this stuff confusing, and I really find people who don't agree with Labour policies, like, it's like a whole other world. I'm like, how? Like, what?
You know what's weird?
Why?
I find it really weird, but like loads of Asians are like hardcore conservatives.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not sure, but I think it goes back to the fact that most of them, or obviously I'm generalizing here, but most of them have quite big businesses, right? And no, is it not true? Is it not true? Is it not true?
I didn't think you were gonna go down that road.
No, but it is true though.
No, but they do though.
It's true.
I hear you. I just thought you were gonna say that they've been here for long.
Well, yeah, but they've been here for long and they have money. That's the problem, and that's why they vote for conservative. I just find it so bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a couple Somalis that vote conservative as well. It's like, bruv, look at you. Your mum probably benefited from Tony Blair's benefits, fam. Like, you know, it doesn't seem to make sense. Just look at them, like, look at this youth. Proper going ham for conservatives when, bruh, your mum needed that. Your mum needed that child benefit when you were growing up. It just doesn't make sense.
Do you guys remember when the student riots happened and they smashed up the Tory headquarters?
The Lib Dems.
I was there.
Nick Clegg got it hard.
I was there too. It was live.
Bro, I was there in the snow. It was snowing that day. I remember it so clearly.
That's what I'm saying,
innit? Goodbye.
like we were there together, Reem.
Huh?
I feel like we were there together. What year was that?
2011 or 2012.
Yeah, that was 2011 and 12 were like so hype on.
Remember the London riots?
Yes, fam.
That was so mad. Did you guys go? I bet you guys went.
Of course.
To the London riots? What, to loot JD?
Yeah.
Sana went to Primark.
Nah, I didn't loot shit.
Sana smashed up Primark to get her trainers.
You guys know the Tesco Extra on the corner of Ealing Broadway? That green area.
Did you loot it? Did you steal rice?
I didn't loot it. I was there because I got so hyped up when the London riots happened. I just took my car and I was like, bah! And then my mom was like, are you mad? And I went out and I went for a little drive and I ended up, for some reason, I ended up on that corner. And a madness just happened and bare people started running towards me and I was sitting in my car screaming outside Tesco Extra.
I'm dead.
You're so dumb.
Of course that happened to you.
So hyped. I don't know, man. I just got into the hype.
Sana just loves an adventure, man. If it involves a possible death, she's into it.
Innit?
The adrenaline rush.
To be honest, if I was...
Remember
that's
when
actually
we
so
went
jokes.
out on Halloween? Yeah. Sorry, but remember when we went out on Halloween? I think it was like the year of my wedding or just before my wedding. And we were going to give out invites. And it was Halloween night.
It wasn't Halloween.
And we were in the car driving. Was it not? It was something.
It was New Year's Eve, bruv.
New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. That's so right. Yeah. So we were like driving down West Acton or something, and suddenly we see bare fireworks coming towards us in the car. We were screaming.
Bruh. Speaking of fireworks, it's Guy Fawkes Day today, yeah? And all I'm hearing is poof, poof, poof. And I'm going to admit, I'm very scared of fireworks. There we go, I said it.
Oh,
are you?
Yeah, I'm like a dog.
So cute.
And people are asking for fireworks to be banned because their dogs are literally so terrified.
oh, Mesquite.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about banning fireworks? Do you think that's do you think that's fair? I think it is, but I think it should be controlled. I think it should only be certain events, no lie.
I didn't know this, but only recently I found out that fireworks are illegal in the US.
Is it?
But that's because them lot are crazy, man. They just throw them in people's faces.
4th of July they do matters, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you probably can't buy it yourself.
They just do it.
Oh, I don't know. So wait, so they're saying in the UK you shouldn't be able to buy fireworks and just do it yourself in your garden.
I think so. I think they're trying to suggest that it can be like
Just
more
go
controlled. Which
somewhere
I think
for a
I
show.
agree with, because when I was in school, that the boys used to let them off on the bus. And sorry, but what?
Nah, that's mad. On the bus.
Yes.
Imagine your mom's on the bus.
Yeah, but that's shopkeepers not being
Right,
responsible
thank
and
you.
selling fireworks to
Or imagine
12-year-olds.
Shumbak on the bus.
No, I'd be shook. I'd be so shook. I'd be like, oh, call my mum. Call my mum.
I can't lie. I'd pay to see that.
I'd be so shook.
But this was what used to scare me all the time. This time around, every single year, this time I would be walking from school. I would not be taking the bus because I was so scared. I was like, nah, I'm not losing my face for some dumb.
I don't blame
Dumb
you,
you
man.
throwing a
Who wants to be
firework?
caught up in some Harry Potter magic?
I'm dead.
Yeah, maybe no. You're right in that sense. Of course, I think when you consider the climate of especially London, what the youths are into these days and how mad they are and like how much they actually don't care about nothing. Of course, maybe there should be a little bit of
I don't know if it's fair to say they don't care about nothing. But
a lot
yeah,
of
I
no,
get
but
you.
like, obviously if the shoe fits in it, if the naughty one's in it, if that's not you, innit? But the
You
ones-
naughty.
You're naughty.
You teasing me.
Naughty. You're teasing me. Do you guys know that video?
Can I just say as well, guys? Sorry, this is so random, but basically, I've been doing a bit of self-care, because I can, and
Okay.
I bought this foot peel. Yeah. Now I just like at first I thought it was just like a little mask for my foot. Yeah. I just thought, when you just get gas, you just think, yeah, £1 from Savers. This is gonna make me feel good.
Does it actually work?
So basically, it's like, you what?
Does it actually work? Is it actually making your feet peel?
So listen.
go on then.
So I basically take this out of the packet, and it's like a little plastic boot for your foot, yeah? You put it in, it's like tea tree peppermint, and then there's like a little sticker for you to close it shut. So it's literally like a sock thing that you just tie up. Anyway, you put your feet in it for 90 minutes, 90. And what happened, I never knew this. I just thought it makes your feet smooth. But within 7 to 10 days, yeah, the skin starts peeling off and all of the skin sheds.
All the dead skin.
What?
So I beg you guys, from where you are, type in foot peel and see
No, I
Google
have one at
images.
home.
Do
I
you?
was waiting for me to use. Yeah, I got it from Sephora when I was in the States. I've just been waiting to use it.
Make sure you use it about 3 weeks before you're showing your feet,
No, but but you can go on your feet. But it's one of them was where I think they said don't get your feet too wet, as in like don't like submerge it into water, otherwise it will just like happen what happened with you, like as in it's just peeling bare, and it's like obviously leaving your feet sore.
Mine haven't peeled yet, but I'm saying it
Is
will
it
start
sore?
in 7 to 10 days. Now I'm googling. No, it's just bare soft. I'm googling the images of foot peel, yeah, and the things I'm
Yeah, it's
seeing
class.
are horrific. It's
actually
mad.
disgusting.
The whole foot is off.
Just double up on socks. You have to double up on socks because it actually looks grim, but your feet will be so soft. Oh
Sana,
my God,
have you
for the
googled it?
longest time.
Nope, I don't want to. Sorry.
No, you have
it's just
to.
peeling skin, Sana. Sana's such a wuss. Oh my God.
Why am I a wuss? Don't let's not discuss what you made me watch. Yeah, I'm not discussing this about wuss.
Such a wuss. Bro, can I just say something? That's bare ignorant?
What?
So like the Uyghur Muslims in China, yeah?
Yeah.
Bro, ever since, oh, this is gonna sound so dumb. The only reason why I know about them is because of what everyone's, you know how it's just been brought to my attention, all the stuff that's been going on with them. But I didn't actually know that there was a Muslim community in China.
You didn't know there was Muslims in China?
I didn't know that there was like an actual Muslim, like, ethnic, like, is it an ethnic group or is it just Muslims? Because they're called Uyghur, China, like Chinese men and women, blah blah blah. But I'm trying to figure out.
It's an ethnic minority group.
So it's an ethnic group, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just didn't even cross my mind.
I don't think you're the only person that
Something new every day.
thinks that.
I never knew. I never even knew that they existed. I've never even heard of Uyghur Muslims. Never in my life.
Muslims are everywhere, man. We got through the whole world.
Yeah, I know that there are Reem, explain to her. I know that there are Muslims all around the world. I know this. I get this. Yeah, I'm aware. Bro, this girl. Chat to your girl, please. She's paranoid.
I love Sana. She's like, bro, Muslims are everywhere. I actually love you, Sino.
Jarring. Not even listen to what I'm saying.
Can I confess why I'm not listening? I'm just giving dead answers because I'm writing an article.
Oh, sorry. No.
Which I think is quite interesting, actually.
Go on then.
What's
So
it
this man
about?
in America, this man in America got on a bus and sat down next to a 17-year-old Syrian refugee who was on FaceTime with his friends. And the guy, the 17-year-old, was speaking in Arabic here. And the man turned to him and he goes, "What trash are you talking?" And then the guy goes Arabic, and then the American guy started beating him up.
Oh my god.
That's sad. Yeah, and he's been charged with felony hate crime assault after surveillance confirmed his identity, and he faces 5 years in prison.
It's mad. Disgusting, to be honest.
I can't believe things like this still happen. I really cannot believe things like this happen. You know what? Me and Fedra want to go to New York in a few weeks' time. I don't know if we will or not, but he was telling me that he's quite, like, considering the situation in America right now. He was quite worried that he would face something like that.
Nah, he'll be alright. Because I was thinking the exact same thing before we left as well to go. So for those of you who are just listening and don't know, but I was in LA for a couple weeks in August, and honestly, I felt the exact same thing. And like, it's difficult because obviously when you're a Muslim woman and you're visibly Muslim, i.e. you're wearing the hijab or you dress a certain way, whatever it is, or you look like you're from a certain culture that just tells that you're Muslim, whatever it is, you automatically feel like a target just in the UK. So when you go to America, that fear is obviously heightened because of like their political climate, because of just everything that's going on at the moment. You genuinely do feel fearful. But I was in LA where, but yeah, there is a Muslim community, but they're not that visible. Do you get it? So I genuinely felt I initially felt like, oh my god, I'm quite nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how people might receive me. I don't know how I'm gonna be approached. But no one cares. Yeah, the only time people look at you is to listen to your accent. they're more mesmerized by the fact that you're British. Like they love it. Like they're like, oh my god, say something in Brit and like with an accent. Like they genuinely don't care where you're from. It's not like that at all. But obviously I can only speak about LA. I can't speak about any other state. But
I think like New York probably has more Muslims than LA.
New York is more like London. Like it's full of hella Italians. It's full of hella black people, hella Latinos. Like it's
the Italians are bare racist, babes.
Yeah, but but it's not gonna be that bad. Come on.
No, I mean I think this was more like in the
You've been
70s.
to New York,
Mixed
right?
community.
I've been where? Sorry.
You've been to New York, right?
I have. I went in 2004, so it's been a while. 2006. So it's been a very long time. But I really enjoyed it, and I drove through. Well, basically last year, I was in Boston, then we went to Washington, and then we drove back through New York. And it was Pride weekend, and it was just like everyone and like literally everyone was out. It didn't like it's just such a car. It just reminded me so much of London. It's just not a thing.
Did you guys feel any like sort of animosity or anything when you were at the airport?
No.
Like going into the country? Like nothing at all?
No, I did my ESTA and that was it. And like literally they don't care, man. Even people that work at the airport, they're probably Mexicans. Like looking at them, I don't think there was a single white person that worked there. don't find a single white person. They don't care, trust me. They just look at you like, yeah, stamp your passport, off you go. But I obviously got an extra security check both times.
Yeah, me too.
What happens on the security check?
They just go through your bag even more and like search you. That's about it.
They just keep searching you non-stop. You're like, bro.
There's no questioning or anything.
They made me squat and cough. I'm joking. No, they just search.
You idiot.
Do you know it's okay, so here's what happened, yeah, and I got vexed at one point. I wanted to slap up this one woman, yeah. You know, them was like, just shut up. Like, do you even hear what you're talking about, you coon, yeah? She was basically, we were you know, my flight to LA got cancelled, yeah. But I managed to get on the flight, yeah. So I was on the the day that I was actually meant to get on, we actually got onto the flight. But before that, I got searched for security, extra security. I didn't really care. I was like, who cares, whatever. Like random checks, who cares, yeah. Went through, got into the plane, flight got cancelled, got off, went back to the airport, to the hotel. The next day, yeah, I got randomly selected again. You know the ones, yeah. So then I said to him, I was like, oh, I've been randomly selected again, even though I was randomly selected yesterday too, yeah. And then she goes, ma'am, calm down. I was like, what do you mean calm down? Like, who's piping up? No one's piping up. I'm just asking you a question, yeah. How is it a random selection? I've been randomly selected 2 days in a row, yeah. Is that really a random selection?
100% of the time.
Do you know what I mean? And then she was like, well, you need to understand, ma'am, it's just the same people from last. And I was like, okay, I'll go inside, and if it's not the same people, we've got a problem. So I went in, everyone's different but me, yeah. So I was like, how is this random selection? And then because they wanted to make me suffer, they searched my bag last, so I was waiting for time. Bruv, this woman and the woman, she was Asian as well. You know the ones where it's like, why do you not understand? Why do you not see, fam? You know the ones where your son is probably going to go through the exact same thing that I'm going through at the moment. Your son called Muhammad is probably going to go through the exact same thing. Why do you have no sympathy? You know the ones where they just don't care, man. This is where I don't like people to come on.
So the thing that happened, I never had to do any of that, but my ESTA got denied because I'd been to Iraq, and they already say that on the little list on the ESTA application. They say if you've been to the following countries, you'll not get accepted, and if you've got any criminal convictions. So anyway, so I had to book an interview at the embassy. And then there they kind of questioned why I was going. But the woman I had was lovely. The guy next to her though, and I was like praying that I wouldn't get him, was really, really rude. Like I heard him proper question on a woman, like, how much do you have? What are you there for? Why can't they come here? Like proper interrogating. Bearing in mind she's not anywhere near American, well, she's actually on American soil because somehow embassies like that, but whatever, you know what I mean? Like she's not in an airport, she's not going into America. Anyway, so I was fine. I did get randomly selected, but it wasn't a big deal. But my mum got put in a cell.
Oh my god.
Sorry, it's not funny. But it is. Because only because I remember her explaining the story, because she's like, yeah. So basically what happened is, this was years ago, yeah, when she went to America, maybe, I don't know, in 2009 or something. And so it was kind of like when everything was a little bit difficult. So obviously on her passport, she's born in Baghdad, whatever. And then they went to question her. And then where they take them for them to be questioned is basically a cell. So she's like, I got up ready to, like, I wanted to go to the toilet. So I got up, yeah, tried to open the door. And she was like, it was locked. I was like, bruh, like, you need to go to the toilet. She was trying to open the door to go toilet, like, but she didn't realise it was like a cell. She just thought it was whatever. She was like, bare innocent, like, I don't understand what you want from me. So in my head all this time, I just imagine her walking like she owns the place, like, yeah, let me go wee, like, not really understanding what the situation is. But yeah, so she had a really hard time. And I remember when I went in 2006, the guy, I was really young, but he said to me, but I was traveling with two other people. They were a bit older than me, but they were not my family. And what did he say to me? He said, where are you from, Reem? And I was like, London. And then he was like, where's your family from? And I was like, and I think Iraq was in my passport, and I'd said Iraq, and he was like, okay. And then it was just a bit awkward, and then that was it. Like, but it was, no one really said anything, because but I know that my mum had it hard because I was born in London and she was born in Baghdad, and obviously, you know, for multiple reasons, it's just harder for her. But you guys will be fine, I'm sure. You just need to make sure you do your visa.
I don't know how smoothly that will go because we just came back from Yemen, so I'm sure it'll be a process. But yeah, we need to jump on that.
Because it's if you'd been there in the last, I don't remember, 5 years or something, or 7 years. So regardless of whether you'd come back yesterday or come back in 2014, it would still, it doesn't matter. So just sort it out. I promise you, it's fine.
It's easy.
You'll be alright.
Alright, well, if anyone listening from New York wants to take us out, want to suggest some things for me to do, slide into my DMs.
Holla.
Did you say holla?
And just quickly, sorry, holla. Just quickly, I want to say, there's this new manager at work. Yeah, he's very nice. He's a nice guy. He's one of the senior managers, and basically we had this one-to-one. So we're like, he's getting to know me a bit more, I'm getting to know him a bit more, and he's asking me questions about where just everything. So we're talking about our lives, and basically he gave me like a proper detailed explanation of himself. Yeah, so he like told me about his background, like where he was born, blah blah. So I thought I had to do the same. Yeah, anyway, so I was like, yeah, I was born to Iraqi parents, da, da, da. And he smiled and put his hand on his heart, yeah, and said something like shmala shmala. I don't know what it was, bro, but it was not Arabic. Yeah, I really think he thought I was Israeli, and that was Hebrew. Like, and I didn't have the heart to question it. I just smiled and went along with it. I was like, okay, and that was that. And I just thought, wow.
You didn't even ask him.
I didn't. I just sat there and smiled and nodded, and I was like, yep. Because what can you do? Like, either he's just got a really bad Arabic accent, or it's like, I don't know, Kurdish, or like I just don't know. All I know is I was baffled. I just nodded along and I thought, let this moment end. And he looked really pleased with himself. So you know when someone's happy.
What if he asked you a question or something?
Maybe trying to say assalamu alaikum.
Like, yeah.
No, it was definitely shekh. It was like shekh. It was like a
yes,
like a shekh. I was like, bruh. I just felt so bad because he was really trying.
Oh, Baskin.
Yeah, hold tight him though. He's really nice. Bless him. Also, can I just say I've posted Sana, I posted your shoes, yeah. And I said your uniform shoes. And I said, whose shoes are these? Yeah.
What?
Everyone guessed it. Please tell me everyone guessed it.
Every single person has said Asha.
Hold on, where did he post
I'm not having this. She only just posted it recently.
On £3.30.
£3.30. One person said, what are those?
When?
What's everyone thinks I got dead swag? So
and then someone said Asha, and then said, feel like it could be all of yours actually. And then 3 other people said Asha. I'm so done.
Bruh.
Allow me. Beg you,
why are you holding me up? Listen,
beg you
those are
post
the
a
most
picture of Sana wearing those shoes
ever.
I must have a picture somewhere.
For no reason.
That's gonna be when I'm gonna find a picture and then I'll post it once everyone's voted for Asha, and then be like, wrong. Oh, so funny.
I'll be surprised if
actually I should have done it like a vote. Stupid ass. And also thank you for everyone who not corrected me, but made me realise that I wasn't on my own about thinking being a busybody is being actually busy. I can't believe it. This whole time.
Busy as well. So it means nosy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's a revelation.
I'm surprised, Reem, considering you were born in Paddington, that you don't know these
St Mary's Hospital.
What? She should know what busybody means.
Nah, because you weren't a busybody when you were younger, so you never got called a busybody. It's such a thing that to call youths. It's not. I don't really know people being like adults being called a busybody.
Bro, I've literally described myself as a busybody.
Nosy, that's why you know.
That's it. That I started thinking, right, this is what people just think. Yeah, cool, that makes sense. Couldn't believe it.
No, I think majority of people probably thought that just means that you're like super busy, got things to do.
So damp. Anyway, so
Anyway.
but yeah, I think that's a wrap. But I just want to say, no, real talk though. Instagram wise, I'm so sorry it's been so quiet. It will be loud again. It will be hype
Okay.
again.
Can I just say one last thing, yeah?
It's fine, man.
Is this an actual thing, or am I just imagining it? Are white girls starting to do baby hairs now?
What? Yeah, it's a thing.
They're what?
Mad.
But they've always done it. Like when I was in school, some of the girls used to try it.
Now that I deep
Yeah.
it, yeah.
It's
But I just,
been
to be honest, I
ongoing
think
for a while.
it's because maybe just the schools that I went to, you never really saw that. There were barely any black girls, anyways, at my school, apart from me, maybe like a few others. And like everybody, and the ones that were there, they used to wear hijab, innit? So nobody really used to do the whole baby hair thing, except for this one Colombian girl. But
I'm dead.
yeah, there's one Colombian girl, one Jamaican girl, and that was it. They used to do the whole baby hair stuff, but I never really saw any white girls doing it. So when I started to see it more recently, like because of social media, do you know what? I've actually come to a little bit of a revelation about this whole anti-black culture appropriation thing. I think a lot of people are confused. I think a lot of it isn't conscious cultural appropriation.
Do you think Molly May was culturally appropriating when she
that.
did Cleopatra?
Not just that, Molly May, yeah. She was it Molly May? Yeah, I think for some reason I watched her YouTube videos in it. Yeah, just wanted to pre. For whatever reason there is in this world, I watched her YouTube videos, and there was one video where she was doing her friend's hair, and then they were just messing about, and then she must have taken like a little brush, and she was doing their baby hairs, and she goes, "This is what they do in it," and then like and you know them ones where you just looking at her like you actually don't have any black friends, do you? No one's actually ever patterned you ever to tell you, don't say this is what they do. Like, it's just, it makes no sense. Like, oh yeah, it looks proper nice, and it's what they do. It's like, why would you say something like that? Also, why would you do that in the first place? Why would you be so public with your ignorance? It just doesn't make sense. But I think people do need to leave Molly May alone.
Yeah,
bless her. I actually do think people
She
need
is
to
getting a
lay
lot of
off
hate,
now.
poor thing.
Every day, even like recently, she must have made her man food, and everybody was
no, let's not talk about that. No, that was bad though. That was
everybody was Sana, imagine getting chicken breast, yeah, just boiling it and then
Sana's probably
slapping
seen
it on the plate.
Is it the one with the chicken breast and the broccoli
Yep.
and the potatoes?
See, she's
Yeah.
even seen it.
Oh,
And it was
man.
on. But the thing is, Tommy came out and he said, "Listen, I don't like seasoning. This is what I eat as an athlete. I don't want nothing on there. I want to eat clean." He goes, "I want to eat clean." But to be fair, I've seen a lot of people prepare their chicken like that. When they're doing meal preps and they hit gym on a regular basis, they like it just to be plain, nothing on it. No, like just salt and pepper from a distance. Yeah, that's how they like it. So that's how he requested it. So she made it for him that way because he's training and that's what he wanted. So he defended her on Twitter and he was like, "Look, this is what I've asked. I don't like seasoning and all the rest of it." This is coming from a guy who made jam on toast for a girl on Love Island. What was it? Cheese and ketchup or something. Like, you guys, why do you think he has such high standards in food? Like, just leave the girl alone, man. Let her and her man eat unseasoned chicken and live their best life. Like, it's not every day something to find to criticize. It's these things that really affect people's mental health. People don't realize. It's so hurtful, like, to just constantly be attacked.
But that
for
chicken
small
was unacceptable. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course it was. God forbid someone ever tried to serve me something like that. God forbid. But if that's what they like, that's what they like. Calm. Call it a day. They probably think salt and pepper is a bit spicy. Just leave them, man.
I'm so done.
There are people that, you know, Sumaya, my friend Sumaya, she thinks pepper, like, she finds everything to be spicy. She's one unseasoned ute. That's how she likes to live life, and she's Somali. So you just have to let people live their own life, man. Just go off, sis, enjoy. You know what, anyways.
I hear that.
Anyways, you guys have got any last remarks?
Not from me, mate. How about you? That was your last remark, innit?
She's always got last remarks.
Innit?
That was my last remark. Let people live their own lives with their unseasoned chicken. Don't be what? Stop being a busybody.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of the hours that you have in Bristol.
Thank you,
And
Habibti.
Reem, enjoy the rest of the week you have in London. And I will enjoy Doha.
Thanks, sunshine.
And you guys can wrap up.
And all of our listeners, beg you guys enjoy wherever it is that you are, innit? Call it a day.
Wherever you are.
And on that note, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on all the platforms that you normally listen to your podcasts, not including SoundCloud, unfortunately. Make sure you listen to our podcast on BBC Sounds. Follow Sanasino on YouTube or on the Instagram. Follow me on the YouTube and the Instagram, Asha Everyday. And buy Sana's book, War and Love. Love and War.
War and Love.
Every single year. Every single week.
And if you want to get in contact with Reem, she's the gyal, the mind, the genius behind our Instagram account, which is at £3.30.
Well, I haven't been for the last few weeks, but yeah, hold tight.
And don't forget to send us any topic suggestions, any dilemmas, any questions that you guys might have. Chat to us, fam. We're here to listen. All right.
I was thinking, actually, sorry, before we wrap up, sorry. I was thinking we should do a whole episode dedicated to just answering questions. So we should have like a Q&A call out for like a whole week, and then gather all the questions and just spend all that episode answering questions. What do you guys think of that?
Let's do it.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, let's do it then.
Cool. So if you have any questions, any of them that are directed to each one of us, or just general questions, get at us at £3.30 on Instagram, and then we'll collect them all and we'll do a Q&A episode very soon.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Alright guys, bye.
Bye.
Bye.